Seventh regular board meeting to order. Mary, will you call to order and make the roll call?
Here.
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 Thank you. Before we get started on the rest, I've got a statement to make here. About a month ago, the board met in executive session to discuss the request for prayers, and here's a statement that we've prepared for the public. For the past couple of months, some members of our community have urged us to bring prayer back to our boardroom by beginning our meetings with an invocation. Other community members have urged us not to do so. For the record, our board meetings have never included an opening prayer. We have included a moment of silence since 2014. After much discussion and consideration of legal advice on this subject, our standard board agenda format will now include a moment of contemplation and reflection. However, we will continue our historical practice of not including an invocation because of legal issues and different community views. Our boardroom is a place to conduct school business, and doing so will remain our focus. People wishing to pray can do so before or after our meetings, or even silently during our meetings, as long as they do not disrupt our meetings or interfere with others in attendance who do not wish to participate. Our board meetings also usually allow for a call to the public. Our call is a 3-minute opportunity for the public to address the board on matters within our jurisdiction. An individual's comments are subject to our guidelines under the call to the public notice. An individual's comments during the call to the public are not board-sponsored messages, and that a person is allowed to speak does not mean the board approves or endorses what the person says. Our board acknowledges that a member of the public may include some religious language during their comments. We wish to also let the public know that our board and state policy does not require us to offer a call to the public. It is solely a privilege offered by the board to allow the public to express themselves to us about issues concerning the district. If the board feels this privilege is being abused, we may choose to take this privilege away. We ask that you not abuse the call privilege, focus your comments on matters within our jurisdiction, and be respectful of others in attendance who may or may not agree with you on a particular topic. Thank you for understanding. I'll move on into a moment of contemplation. If you'll stand, please. Thank you very much. Now, if you'll follow us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2A, preliminary items to adopt the agenda. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Whichever you want.
Hayes, seconded by Ms. Harrington. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? The agenda is good. Item number 2B, the meetings of the past meetings. Is there a motion to approve the past meeting minutes?
So moved. Second.
Been moved by Mr. Wilkie and seconded by Mr. Hayes. Mary, call for the roll.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Hunt,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie,
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington,
Yes.
and Mr. Wright.
Yes, thank you. Item 3A, student recognitions. Mr. Lavender.
Good evening, President Wright, and board members. Welcome. At this time, I'll introduce our Casa Grande Union Principal, Dr. Lineberry, who will recognize his November Rotary Student of the Month. Dr. Lineberry.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Lavender, President Wright. I have the honor tonight to present Miss Haley Adams as our Student of the Month, our Rotary Student of the Month. Haley just got a job, and work wouldn't let her out of training to come here tonight. But I think Mom's here. Come on up, Mom. So this is Christina Wright, or no, Christina Adams. All right. So on behalf of Casa Grande Union High School faculty and staff, we'd like to recognize Haley as our November 23 Rotary Student of the Month. Haley's one of our rising stars academically, humanitarianly, and in our school's community service areas. She has many promising plans for her life after high school. And is surrounded by a family who loves her, supports her in her endeavors, great or small. She's ranked number 35 in her class. She has a 3.93 grade point average, which is ever increasing. As a senior, she represents our student body vice president. In 10th grade, she served as the student council vice president and senator. She exhibits excellent rapport with her peers, teachers, students, counselors, and administrators, is loved and highly respected. She excels in leadership. She's received a number of awards for that as a member of National Honor Society. She's a recipient of the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Award, a member of Union's Elite Dance Company and vice president. She's a Key Club member, a Link Crew member, and a Language and Cultures Club. I don't know where she's going to fit a job into all that. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of California, where she's going to pursue a degree in nursing. And her ultimate dream is to be a pediatric nurse oncologist. As her Cougar family, we believe she will be successful and achieve everything she. Finally, Haley wants everybody to know how much she treasures and honors her mother, grandmother, and dearest friends for loving her and providing great opportunities in her life. She attributes her growth and development as a young woman to you, Mom, and claims that her mother has played the biggest role in my life, and my mother is committed to providing me with everything I need to achieve all my goals and dreams. Haley and Mom, we salute you and are proud that you made Casa Grande Union High School a part of your life's journey. Time to go change the world. So. Should get a free lunch at Texas Roadhouse. You just missed it.
Haley, congratulations.
Do you want to do a picture or do we want to have her do a picture?
Union.
Yeah.
Congratulations and great job.
Oh, sure. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like Mr. Danzy to come forward to recognize our Vista Grande November Rotary Student of the Month. Mr. Danzy.
Good evening, President Wright, governing board members. Luis isn't here tonight, so I would like to move him to December, if that's okay. Perfect, thank you.
At this time, our Our CTE director, Mrs. Miller, wasn't able to attend tonight. And so our director of student success, Mrs. Tina Daniels, is going to come forward and recognize our 2 CTE students of the month.
President Wright and honorable board members, Mr. Lavender. I'm honored to recognize Melody Limon as November's Career and Technical Education Student. Melody was nominated by her CTE engineering, Mr. John Morris of Casa Grande Union High School. He said, "I wholeheartedly recommend Melody based on her exceptional qualities and achievements. Melody consistently demonstrates," Melody, come on up. Yep. So Melody consistently demonstrates a brilliant and creative mind in her academic pursuits, maintaining an outstanding academic record. Beyond academics, she excels as a talented actress and vocalist, showcasing her multifaceted talents. Melody's leadership shines through her active involvement in Girls Who Code, the first robotics team, and the Near Space Research Team, where she made significant contributions. Her ability to collaborate effectively and assume pivotal roles consistently leads to success. I'd like to emphasize her current involvement in a noteworthy project creating a video game using Unity. This project aligns with her ambitious career goals of becoming a Disney Imagineer, allowing her to express innovative ideas and theme park designs. Her passion and dedication to this endeavor are truly remarkable, showcasing her ability to translate imaginative concepts into tangible, interactive experiences. As her teacher and mentor, I've witnessed Melody's diligence, enthusiasm, and professionalism. With her unique blend of technical skills, creativity, and unwavering commitment, I have no doubt she will achieve her dream of becoming a Disney Imagineer. Melody is an outstanding individual deserving of every opportunity to excel. Melody's parents, well, actually her great-grandmother and her uncle are here. And the aunt is also here to celebrate with her. So congratulations, Melody. Come on up, sweetie. We're gonna put you right.
Melody, congratulations.
Well done.
So cute.
And so again, President Wright and honorable board members, I'm honored to recognize Reese Douglas Rail. Come on up. As November's Career and Technical Education Student of the Month. Reese was nominated by his CTE engineering teacher, Mr. Ramon Estrada Vega of Vista Grande High School. He says, Reese Douglas Rail provided a lot of STEM and robotics knowledge to Vista Grande's high school. Mr. Rail has acquired knowledge and understanding of the part of the Civil Air Patrol CAP program located in Eloy. Indeed, he has expanded his knowledge by learning how to use and program different robotic software used in the classroom along with SolidWorks software. He has a positive attitude towards learning new things and applying these skills. Moreover, he is always willing to help the students learn as new technology and innovation is introduced in the classroom. Reese follows directions as instruction takes place in the classroom. He works hard on his projects, incorporating the new technology learned in his robotics class. He is gifted and very efficient at building robotics. His background in STEM education and previous experience has granted him opportunities to become a leader in the classroom. He completes assignments and robotics activities on time and with quality. This student develops excellent teamwork and collaboration skills that are necessary for the workforce industry. Rael Reese Douglas is a team player who is always willing to help others by assisting them with technical support to ensure his teammates can succeed in their learning. His dedication to technology and innovation has granted him a well-deserved third-place medal winner as a Skills USA last year. Congratulations. Due to Reese's dedication, hard work, and determination to learn new knowledge and practice new technology and automation and robotics, he has earned him this month's Student of the Month. Reese's mother and family are all here to celebrate with him. Come on up. Congratulations, Reese.
Congratulations, Reese. Good job.
Well done.
They're proud of you, Reese. That's all. Oh, do you want me to take your picture? Yeah.
Mhm.
So at this time, I'd like Mr. Mike Wagner to please join me. Mike is our November Employee of the Month. He is our construction teacher at Casa Grande Union High School. He teaches students the career skills and love of the building industry. He has positive relationships with his students built on mutual respect. His students in his class learn by doing, not watching or listening. And Mr. Wagner is always modeling for them, and he usually has the dirtiest hands when class is finished. Like today, I drove by Union, and you were doing a concrete over by the football fields. Is that the statues I asked you to build? Not yet, okay. But he's always working on projects like he was working on today. Recently did the Wall of Fame at Casa Grande Union as well. He's the department head for our electives department. He represents all teachers on our IBN committee and advocates for them as well. Mrs. Miller, our CTE director, said, "I've known Mike for nearly 8 years. He has been a colleague, mentor, and leader. I'm thankful to have him working in CTE and leading our department at Union with his honest, hard-working, and diplomatic style. His unflappable problem-solving abilities provide support to the entire team." And Dr. Lineberry shared with me that Mr. Wagner is a team player. He bleeds blue and gold, and Mr. Wagner is Casa Grande Union High School. So congratulations to our November Employee of the Month.
I just want to take a moment here and also add my thanks, his extreme dedication to Union. He also served as one of the advisors that took our FFA team to nationals this past week and brought them all home safely. And I appreciate that because one of them was my son. Thank you very much for that effort.
Deal.
We all came home with a cold.
Yeah. Well,
I washed my hands before.
Thank you, Mike, for what you do.
Thank you.
5 days with a bunch of teenagers in Indianapolis.
Mhm.
Love and beyond.
So not only is Mike an extraordinary teacher, he's also an extraordinary father, and he's coaching his daughter's soccer team tonight. Good luck, Coach. Back in July, Harley Grigg was named the Black Canyon Region Coach of the Year. It was an obvious choice when his Vista Grande baseball team went undefeated this season in league play. And so we didn't get the opportunity in July to recognize him. So I'd like Coach Grigg to please come forward at this time. And I have asked Mr. Bellick, whose sons have played for Coach Grigg, to come up and share with everybody why he is so deserving of this award. So congratulations, Coach.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I just wanted to say a few words. First of all, I wanted to thank Harley for the role he played when my son played for him. A day doesn't go unnoticed where he took some of the traits off the field and he still practices them. I would like to say that it is a lot about baseball with Harley, but it's also creating a young man that's going to go out there and support his community and do right by his families and not only to his families, but to his peers and teachers and everybody like that. So I wanted to just say that and say thank you. And that's a well-deserved award. And I think you should have got it a long time ago.
Did you measure up for World Series tickets from Ralph, though?
No.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
You didn't make the cut?
Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
Harley.
Thank you.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Harley also wanted me to say, Miss Salcedo, you have to come take a picture with him.
Yes.
Come on.
You're terrible, terrible. Did you photobomb?
Oh, we sound great. Harley. Harley. Oh.
I'm here to make another award. It's pretty special tonight. We usually honor our employees, and one employee has really stood out in the last month. And the Coming Out from Behind the Counter award was created to honor the staff going above and beyond their duties. Something extraordinary happened last month, right before fall break, that involved the actions of our superintendent. As a result, our board decided to present a Coming Out from Behind the Counter award of our own. Superintendent Jeff Lavender has proven to this community and staff that compassionate leader just doesn't talk about caring, but he acts on those actions. When the county data processing center communicated that they had a problem with getting the checks to the school districts all over the county, Mr. Lavender immediately wanted to make sure that we were communicating with our staff to give them full warning about what was about to happen. He continued to monitor the situation and kept staff and board members informed. Mr. Lavender himself drove to Florence to pick up the checks and was determined that no matter what time he got back to town, the district office would be open to deliver those checks. The office opened at 8:30 p.m. and he got all of them delivered Friday night, and many grateful staff members were there to pick up their much needed checks. Word quickly spread around town how this challenge was being handled from the time it first surfaced, and Jeff Lavender rose above the occasion. Some comments from the community and staff were quoted as follows: Jeff cares about the staff, leadership matters. He is exactly what this district needed. Everything did for the staff made me cry. Thank you, Jeff, for your continued support for our teachers, the school support staff, and our community. Your leadership is truly appreciated by all. Jeff is a shining example of what leadership is. That is astounding. That is an astounding, impressive. He is a man of action and truly cares for his employees. Dedication to his staff is a breath of fresh air. What a blessing to the staff and students. This pretty much sums up what Jeff Lavender is about, and that's why he's here. So we have a really special gift for him, and I know my intention is to embarrass him.
You've already succeeded.
Will you come up and receive your award? And it says, commitment to excellence. Thank you, Jeff Lavender. You aspire excellence, stepping out from behind the counter. Come on up here. Board members, come on out. There's no speech.
The only thing I will say is our staff works so hard, and we wanted to make sure they got what was coming to them through the loans we arranged. The food boxes are getting the checks out that night. And so I would expect it from anybody, what we did that night to make sure it happened. And it was a team effort. Gina Salazar did a great job. Charity, Mary, the whole team. So this is really a team award, but thank you. So.
You're welcome. Item number 6, superintendent's report.
Did we miss Tina, or am I in front of Tina? Okay. Got a few things to talk about tonight. If you have not seen the Casa Grande Union marching band, I encourage you to go out and watch their show. They have won the last 2 competitions they've been in. When they were down at the University of Arizona a couple of weeks ago, they won the Noonamaker Award, which is the best group of the day. But they won the 4A championship that day. They won another festival next weekend, and I believe this Saturday is when they're performing in the state championship. But the show is fantastic. Also, next Thursday night is our annual FFA Steak Fry, and I hope all of you can attend. And on Wednesday night is the Best of the Grande Award at our Neon Sign Park. Both Casa Grande Union and Vista are up for the best schools. Dr. Lineberry is up for the best principal, and Lisa Demarest and Desiree Gill are up for the best teachers. So we're hoping it'll be a big night for us. Also, if you remember back to July, we had Roberto Rivera visit and do the keynote address. He's actually coming back to town next week, Monday. On Tuesday, he'll be presenting to the union students in grade level assemblies. Wednesday, he'll be with PACE. And in the afternoon, he'll be over at the Casa Grande Alliance working with high school students that have been identified to go in and mentor and tutor middle school students. And he'll be working with them. And then on Thursday, he will be presenting to the Vista students, all 4 grade levels there. We had 2 teams qualify for the state playoffs. Our girls flag football team qualified in their first season, had a number, I think it was a 7 seed. They were not successful in their first game, but they had a great season, and they're a freshman-led team, so we think they're going to be strong for years to come. Our boys team is playing this Thursday night at Glendale Apollo High School on 47th Avenue in Northern. In the 5A state playoffs, they're the number 12 seed. Vista Grande had an identical 7-3 record this year, but they're just on the outside this year in the playoffs, but we know that Coach Roberts is building the foundation that Vista will be a regular visitor to the playoffs as well. I did present to the staff on collective efficacy. I was going to include it in the presentation tonight about school grades, but I have found out that I can only talk about the letter grade. I can't go into the data yet and share with you how those grades are calculated. So I'm going to have to do that in December, and then I'll talk about collective efficacy. But I'm also meeting with our 3 high school staffs this week to talk about next steps in building and creating those students' learning bill of rights and expectations moving forward. But both of our high schools did get C grades, and so we're happy with that. But also we're working on goals to move those grades up higher to B's and A's. And so the last thing I wanted to share, on October 27th, it was an honor to join other community members in the celebration of life for Pastor Juan Humes. Pastor Juan Humes had a profound effect on this district. He used to pray in front of the buildings. He used to meet with myself, previous superintendents, and pray with us, and kind of that spiritual guidance that we all needed. And he's going to be greatly missed in this community. One of the things that was very evident in the celebration of life is Pastor Humes brought together people of all religious denominations to celebrate. He had 5 different pastors that spoke that day at the service. And I've been asked to speak at the next Pastoral Alliance meeting on November 17th and talk about a little bit of his legacy and how we can move forward. But I certainly appreciate that everything that Pastor Juan did. So that's my report tonight.
Thank you.
Item 4B, the grant review.
So Tina Ogle is doing a phenomenal job as our grants coordinator. I'm going to talk a little bit about her when we get to a later item, but she's on top of these things and making sure we're getting our maximum support. She's been working on this presentation. I know that she doesn't enjoy doing presentations, so she's been talking to herself back there, but I know she recognized the outstanding job she's doing. So Tina, thanks for everything you're doing, and good luck.
Thank you. Yes. Good evening, Board President Wright and members of the board. I'm Tina Ogle, Federal Programs Director, and I'm here to present the school year 2023-24 grant allocations. This slide is just to reaffirm that in consideration of any grant, entitlement or competitive, we do consider our priorities and goals and try to address them in some capacity, either in a budget or the grant itself. In the Federal Programs Office, there's 2 of us, myself and Grants Coordinator Martine Lopez. Some of the activities in our office are homeless education supports. We do receive funding for that, and currently we have about 64 students that are considered homeless or unaccompanied youth in our district. Migrant education supports, we don't receive funding for this. However, we do currently have an MOU with Queen Creek, and they do supply a liaison that does support elementary district and high school districts. She just started. So foster care, we don't receive funding for that, but we are required by the state of Arizona to conduct bid meetings, best interest determination meetings when any student is moving from one school district to the other. And that's just part of our agreement with the state, and that happens in our office. Native American Services, currently we have 473 students that are tribally affiliated. Accountability and compliance, with receiving money or any of these things, there is accountability and compliance, and that happens in our office. Some districts have their own, but that's in our office. As well as grants, fiscal and program monitors or audits, we do those in our office. We also keep track of poverty data because it is a big requirement for grants applications and continuations. And currently today, I just put it in there for you, we have 68% free and reduced lunch status for the district. And next slide is just an overview of our school year 23-24 grant allocations. These are funds that are to be used from July 1st to June 30th of 2024. If you want to take a second just to look at the numbers, in the next slides, I'm going to explain in detail what they're for, what the grant focus is. But these are our total allocations for this year. Starting with ARP homeless grant. That grant is to help state and local educational agencies to identify homeless children and youth, provide wraparound services that address the multiple effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on homeless children and youth, and ensure that homeless children and youth are able to attend school and participate fully in school activities. This year, we're focusing on supporting M&O by helping to fund or offset the cost of transporting homeless students. When we have homeless students in our district, we are required to provide transportation for them, and that results in an extra route or, regardless of where it is. And we sometimes share transportation with, say, Maricopa or Florence to ensure that student is staying in their school of origin instead of having a move every time they move with their family. ESSER 3, this is the last of the ESSERs. The remaining funds of $2,315,000. That grant is intended for, the elementary and secondary school emergency relief fund is to aid LEAs to prevent, prepare for, and respond to the coronavirus, COVID-19. There is a requirement of 20% of the total grant. The original grant was $6,900,000 to address learning loss. And so, to us, what we've budgeted for in this year, just an example for you, is credit recovery. We currently fund that. The student Wi-Fi hotspots, we pay for those. So every student is able to access Wi-Fi while they have their one-to-one device at home or wherever they are. Summer school, we've been able to, for the last 2 years, support summer school. And this year, as you know, increase the size of the summer school by where it used to be 300 when we funded it under Title I. This last year, we were able to serve about 900 students for credit recovery. IDEA is the formula grant is used to assist in meeting the excess cost of providing special education and related services to children with disabilities. These funds, for instance, we have budgeted adequate IEC staffing in the classrooms to support adult to student ratios, walkers for a student for their special accommodations, magnifiers for computers to ensure, if a student has vision problems, or hearing devices. Title III, I know it's not in alignment with your budget there, but that one is to meet the needs of English language learners and immigrant children and youth. Examples of this would be we provided intercession for the EL students, meaning it was alongside the other intercessions. However, we had a Spanish-speaking intercession teacher just for those EL students. So it was a designated teacher paid just to be with those students. And PD for support staff, so professional development for the support staff that serve the EL population. New Schools Venture Fund, our foundation grant that is supporting the launch year of PACE. Last year, the foundation grant supported the planning year. This year, it's launch funding. The new teacher mentor grant, it supports the newest, that one's through AZK-12. That one is to support the newest members of the teaching profession by providing mentor teacher supports at each school. These mentors mentor teachers that have 0 to 2 years of teaching experience. And the ratio is 7-to-1, so 7 teachers per 1 mentor. The need is much higher, but that is what the grant requirement provides. The school safety program. This is a grant we already had, but we received a new grant for the next 3 years for both sites. It's established within the Department of Education to support and promote and enhance safe and effective learning environments for all students by supporting the costs of placing SRO officers, juvenile probation officers, school counselors, and school social workers on school campuses. We were very fortunate to secure 2 social workers, which is a very hard position to fill. All of these in this school safety program are hard to fill. And if you don't secure the position by December 31st, then you lose the funding. And so that's why we are very fortunate that 2 people committed to both of our sites. So we currently have one at CG and VG. Title I is the beginning of our entitlement grants. That has the goal of to ensure that all children have a fair, equal, and significant opportunity to obtain a high-quality education and reach, at a minimum, proficiency on challenging state academic achievement standards and state academic assessments. Examples of this are interventions such as reading and math, teachers or programs, tutoring. After-school tutoring is paid out of this. We're a school-wide district, so CG and VG are both Title I district or schools. PACE will be considered for next year as they will consider their free and reduced counts next year. Title II, teacher principal training and recruitment. The goal is to increase academic achievement of all students by helping districts improve teacher and principal quality. For us, this looks like in the form of supporting some of our academic coaches, professional development, and recruitment of staff. Title IV is to support student support and academic enrichment. I call this the fun grant because it does have some opportunities that we don't usually get with the other more restricted grants. It is part of the entitlement grant process, but the goal is to increase student academic achievement by increasing a school's capacity to provide all students with a well-rounded education, improve school conditions for student learning, and improve the use of technology and digital literacy. It also has a requirement of 20% spending on well-rounded education and safe and healthy students. And that budget is given to each site to spend. And examples of that have been purchasing additional band instruments. So like a sousaphone, I never knew what a sousaphone was, but we were able to fund that last year, and it's a pretty pricey piece of equipment. But art supplies, things of that nature, and safe and healthy with our link crew. We've been able to fund a link crew training, which is very pricey, but each site has sent several members of their staff to train for link crew. Title IV, Indian Education. It's a formula grant. The goal is to ensure that all Native American students meet challenging state academic content achievement standards, as well as meet their unique culturally related needs. This grant I put forward in January of every year. This year, our projected student count will be 323. That number is based off of our 506 form. It's a form that identifies the student as tribally enrolled. A student can use their enrollment, have a parent enrollment, or grandparent. So we use all of those. But this form has to be on file with us at the district office for me to include them in our count. Examples of those funds: cultural enrichment activities. We help pay for student fees. Field trips. We go on various field trips throughout the year, both academic and cultural, to different museums, college visits, things like that. Title VII, our impact aid funds, are to assist local school districts that have lost property tax revenue due to the presence of tax-exempt federal property, or that have experienced increased costs due to the enrollment of federally connected students, including children living on Native American lands or reservations. So this one is, last year I reported 140 students residing on either Gila River Indian Community or the Tohono O'odham Nation. So that one, that is a student count of students who actually live on the reservation. We have to get that verified, their address is verified by the BIA for us to submit that count. And, sorry, I didn't change my screen, did I? So, upcoming grants. We have two we're working on currently or discussing, and one is called the Ninth Grade Success Project. This is a subgrant of Title 4A, and it's to provide funding to LEAs and charters to improve the ninth grade student experience to ensure that students enrolled in ninth grade develop the skills they need to successfully persist to 10th grade on time and ultimately graduate from high school and launch successful careers. The topic of this one we're gearing towards is transition. So ideas such as ensuring teachers of incoming ninth graders have the data associated with those students to better prepare them for teaching that year for that specific group of students. That one's due December 1st. So it is a competitive grant and we'll have to apply for that. The second is the Feminine Hygiene Products Grant. It was a one-time allocation. And this one is, the purpose of the grant is to ensure menstrual hygiene products are available in local education agencies for students and adult bathrooms at no expense to the students. Currently, other states have a requirement of if you have 40% or higher of free and reduced lunch that you're required to provide this service. And so this is a great opportunity, and I'll be submitting this this week for approval, and that's also due December 1st. And that's it for me. Any questions on any of the budget or
Any questions?
programs?
Any questions?
No?
Tina, what happens? Do we typically exhaust all the money in each category each year?
That's the goal. Yes, that's the goal, to don't give any money back. Use every dollar, every cent, basically. And yes, so we do. If there are rollover grants, which some, like the ARP homeless, has been rolled over, we can use it for a couple years or like that longer term. But yes, this is per year, July 1st to June 30th, 2024.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. Just a follow-up question. These federal grants, which ones will we be able to apply for next year, or do any of these go away? I think you mentioned one or two, and I'm just kind of curious. Or can we anticipate most of these coming back and applying and hopefully be successful again?
Okay, so there are some that are going away, obviously. They're foundation grants or such, but is there one in particular?
Well, the ESRA 3, I think you
That's
mentioned
going
that's
away
going away.
September 30th of 2024. So all funds need to be expended by that date. And this will be the end of all of our ESSERs. ESSER 1 is spent, ESSER 2 is spent, and now this is our final ESSER. The new teacher mentor grant, that was a 2-year grant, and then we're in our second year. And so I haven't seen a grant opportunity yet to continue that or had the discussion with anyone to see if we want to pursue. Usually we would do that at semester to discuss that and if it's been effective and if we'd like to apply, if they offer it to us. We are in good standing, so if they do have additional funding, I think we would be eligible. But the other ones, the entitlement grants, so 1, 2, 3, 4, those are all based off of our free and reduced lunch counts, our state status, and so those go off of a formula that is way beyond me as far as the calculation, as far as what we receive. But those are continuation. We do apply for them.
Right.
If we don't apply, yes, we won't get it. But we are offered those entitlements every year. Same with Indian education with our and impact aid. they're available to us. We just have to reapply and be successful at that and comply with all the conditions of each grant.
And if I, do you see with the current state as it is there, do you prefer see any kind of challenges related to the grant funding becoming available, given the
No.
the federal budget kind of?
Yeah, actually, it's
challenges there?
different. There's, since there are so many unused ESSER funds out there, they're being redistributed back into the state. So they come from the U.S. Department of Education down to the state level and then down to the LEA level to us. So they're just distributing them, like, for instance, the feminine hygiene grant, and, there's others available out there that are being redistributed.
But there's no delay in getting any kind of these grant funds that we've been allocated due to the ongoing federal budget challenges.
Oh, no. Okay. So to answer that question, most of our grants that are funded through ADE, most of them they are forward funded.
Okay.
So we receive the money from U.S. Department of Ed, comes to Arizona Department of Ed. And so for that school year, at least, we're secure.
Thank you.
Sure.
I've got a question. Any of those funds that may go away, is the district going to be responsible for picking up those programs and funding them?
If that's a decision the district wants to go in, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Any question? Nope. Thank you.
Okay.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
You can relax now. Item 5A, the call to the public. Mr. Hayes, will you read the public content statement?
Requests to speak to the governing board pursuant to ARS 38-431.02.h. The board may make an open call to the public during a public meeting subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions to allow individuals to address the public body on any issue within the jurisdiction of the public body. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual board members may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the board, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, members of the board shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. During an open call, the board requests that speakers refrain from voicing complaints against school personnel or any person connected with the district, as it may impact due process rights. Policies KE, KEB, and KED are provided by the board for disposition of legitimate complaints, including those involving individuals.
Thank you. We have 2 calls tonight. As always, it's a 3-minute limit, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Mr. Boots, will you come on up?
President Wright, board members, Superintendent Lavender, got the name right. I would like to just say, I appreciate you guys finally discussing spirituality and so forth. I think about ice cream. We have vanilla, we have chocolate, we have strawberries, our main flavors. There's a lot of other things mixed in. But just because, and then some people love ice cream, some people don't like it at all. But just because somebody doesn't like it doesn't mean that we have to outlaw it and not have it around. And it's the same thing with prayer. We haven't done it since 14 or before 2014. And I understand that. At least you finally discussed it. But I would like to bring up the House just tonight. Both sides, left and right, got together. And they had a moment of silence followed by prayer. We can all, and I'm sure that group that was out there, because it was the majority of the House members, there was probably members that was Christian, Jewish, Muslim, everything. but they were out there and they come together under one voice, looking for some type of spiritual leadership and guidance and belief in such. You know, tyranny is something that isn't relegated just to the top echelon. It could go all the way down to any point to where an individual has power over another individual. I know that just a few months back, I was cut off in the middle of speaking. Last month, we have an individual that was cut off and said prayer is not allowed, even though all they were doing was reciting the type of prayer that used to be used. At one point, what are we going to have? Everybody's going to come up and you're going to have list A and list B, what you could speak on, what you can't speak on. We can't do that. And the last step is where we're actually going to get a script. If you want to speak, this is what you say. Read from here. We can't do that. We're not a banana republic. Thank you.
Thank you. Second individual is Bruce Schultz. Shoot. There you go.
President Wright, board members, people of Casa Grande. You beat me to the draw tonight. I was going to ask, where's a response on what we've asked the board to discuss? And I just want to renew that I cannot comprehend why our federal government, who actually started prayer for the nation back at Thanksgiving way back when, we have a national day of prayer. The federal government calls us to that. We have prayer at every level, state, local, private, public. So I can't comprehend why a few people can stop what others want. Like Butch just says, why can't we have prayer? I don't care who you bring up here to pray, but we are a nation founded upon Christian principles, and that includes prayer. So I just don't understand that. I would suggest that possibly we do some type of polling among the people of Casa Grande Union High School and see what their opinion is. I would suggest maybe establishing a committee that can really do research and find a solution on how it can be done, rather than say it can't be done because a few people oppose it. Maybe you could add to this thing, instead of a moment of contemplation and reflection, just a statement, a moment of prayer, and let people focus upon God who gives us everything. A nation that was given freedom through the only God that truly has that freedom for all. And I guess that's what I'm really challenging us to do. If we don't become a nation of prayer, a people of prayer, and you saw what happened when the Supreme Court say no prayer in school, everything went downhill. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Shute. All right, item 6A, the option and easement agreement. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved by Mr. Hayes and seconded by Mrs. Harrington. Is there discussion? Any discussion? Everybody understand where it's going and all the documents that we requested last time?
Mhm.
Okay. Mary, call for the question.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes. Item 6B, ASBA policy revisions, first reading. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move that one too.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved by Mr. Hayes, seconded by Mr. Wilkie. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President, this is the first reading of this document,
That's
therefore we'll
correct.
have more time to digest it and also to do some further research on some of this, but at
Okay.
this point,
There is a pretty good section in there on board member policies and board conflicts of interest and district evaluation, superintendent evaluation. Mary, in there, is it specifying a specific tool that we've got to use for an evaluation, or can we still select our own tool?
It says that they have a pilot one. It said ASBA and ASA in collaboration with superintendents and board members from across every developed and piloted this evaluation, which is reflective of the collective diverse of the superintendents and board members. Once an evaluation instrument is chosen, it will be recodified.
So we're not bound by one?
no, I believe we still have flexibility in
Yeah, I
ours.
believe so.
Okay.
So that's just the one that
Okay,
they
okay,
recommend.
okay. Any other questions? None? Okay, Mary, call for the question.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Hunt,
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie,
Yes,
Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes. Item 6C, retention stipends. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Wilkie, seconded by Mr. Hayes. Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Mr. Hunt?
I want to explain my vote before I vote. I believe strongly in fairness. And I also believe that those that produce the most deserve the most, those that pay the highest price in education, those that spend the most time seeking that position should be those that are rewarded the most. Those that have the longest tenure should be receive as at least equal, if not greater than, those that don't have that time frame. And especially in a situation where we have an individual that's been less than a year and in a position that does not take higher education, giving them more than a teacher that has a degree and has a doctorate, lesser money. I disagree with that 100%. So I want you to understand, this is not against the teachers. This is not against the staff. It bears totally 100% in the area of fairness and what I believe fairness should be. And my vote will be based on that.
Okay, thank you. Richard?
Yes, and I can agree with you. I understand, those individuals that have been with the with Union and Vista with the district for quite some time. They've put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and there's a number of them that are represented throughout this. Basically, the three tiers here, the top two tiers, and it's this program, this retention stipend, is not the way it's structured. I've been through a few of these. I've been involved with, seeing how they've been rolled out and part of them. And there's no easy solution to this. I think from my standpoint this is the way it's broken down is not meant to disrespect anyone. It really is a retention stipend here. And those that are in the earlier parts of their careers, we're having difficulties finding new teachers here. And this is by no means trying to dismiss or diminish the roles and the contributions of those making the 90,000 up. But when you're taking a look at those entry-level teachers, we're trying to recruit them, we're trying to retain them. It's a very competitive field out there for attracting these new teachers to come. We do need to retain those others but those others, they're giving. Teachers don't go into it, and I think Mr. Hayes' wife can to attest to this. They don't go in it for the money, but for those employees that are really just starting out, that extra little bit of money means the world to them. So again, I respect all teachers, but in this case, I'll be supporting this retention stipend for those reasons.
Okay,
I'd like to respond.
okay.
This stipend is based on a monetary value of the amount of money that an individual makes. Anybody making $50,000 and over will receive a $2,000 check for retention bonus. Now, the problem that I have with that is all of our teachers make over $50,000. In fact, the brand new teacher that just came on board maybe last month makes, I believe it is $52,600 or in that general vicinity. So that throws them out of the 2,500, puts them in a $2,000 bracket, and anybody under that $50,000 will now get a $2,500 boost. So that's wherein lies my problem, is I don't see any fairness in that.
And if I may, and thank you, bring up a really good point, that this is district-wide for all employment, right? So that includes administrative staff, it includes the staff, and the maintenance staff, and we're not here, we're only here because of the maintenance staff and the people that take care of the buildings and the facilities and the janitorial staff. I mean, if you take a look at it, we're all piece of a big puzzle, right? And the puzzle's not complete, or it's just only strong as every single piece of that puzzle. And so when you're taking a look at the district staff that may not make that 50,000, I see they play a very important role in our district, and we can't not take care of them. And each position out there is hard fought to find qualified individuals that can come to school every day and do what they do to help us do our job at the board level, but help the teachers do their job. And so there are a number of those individuals that make under 50, and under 50 is considered, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, $50,000 is, depending on how many dependents you have, is not really a livable wage these days. It's ridiculous how much it costs for rent or mortgage and all that. So we just need to remember that too when we're considering this.
Mr. Hayes, you have anything?
No.
Yeah. Okay, Ms. Harrington?
I can respect both opinions on it. I tend to sway more towards Mr. Wilkie's sentiment on this part. I feel that when the teachers get raises each year, that is a little more based on a scale, whereas this is just a bonus. And I do feel that the ones making 50,000 or less could use that extra little boost. Everyone's getting a bonus, but that, I think, in that bracket helps more. So.
Okay.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
did you want to say anything?
Well, I agree with Mr. Wilkie that this is kind of, we get so much pressure from the local industries now in maintenance and stuff. We have a lot of pressure on our maintenance staff and keeping qualified people to help Ralph do what he needs to do. It's strongly focused in that area to help alleviate losing people and attracting people, but it is it is a bonus, and it's meant to say thank you for working here. We appreciate it. We hope you stay. So that's all I have to say.
Mr. Wright, do you mind if I just take a minute? The original proposal that was going to be brought tonight was 1.5% of your salary. I had a conversation with Ms. Salazar, Ms. Ogle, and we decided to push the ADE and see if we can push it up, because there's some funds that we used, and we earmarked them for other things like tutoring, summer, that, and there weren't people that signed up for those things. So there were extra funds. 1.5 was the original proposal. Everybody in this district that makes under $100,000 is getting more money in a retention bonus than the original proposal. The only people who are getting less are people who make more than $100,000. If we had gone through with the 1.5% recommendation, and I was eligible because I was hired before January 1st, I would have got the largest retention bonus. There is nowhere in town that I can go and make the salary I'm making here. If you wanted to pay me, and I would have been the only employee that made the $2,500. If you wanted to pay me that, I would have said, thank you. And I was going to Pebble Beach and playing around a golf. That's what I would have done, because honestly, I don't need it. You guys have been great to me. You have blessed me. Ralph Bellick has had positions open for months that he cannot find people for. I'd ask you to ask Ralph what he thinks of this proposal and if it's going to impact his department. This isn't in any way to minimize anything. We pushed this as far as we could, and there was some extra money left over, and we pushed it into the pockets of our support staff that have worked so hard during COVID, who are in the buildings and those things. And again, it's not to knock everybody, because every teacher got more money because Tina and Gina pushed for this with ADE. And so it's sad it's being misrepresented, and people ought to be grateful that they're getting these bonuses. And it's also sad, the elementary district, they're not getting any bonuses. It's something that we pushed for and things like that. So totally understand what you're saying, Mr. Hunt, but it wouldn't be fair for me to walk out of here today with the largest one too if we did the original proposal, if I was eligible. I would have enjoyed it. I would have sent you a picture from Pebble Beach, said, thank you, sir.
You would invite us?
Mr. Belloc, what is your impression and effects on the retention bonus? Can you give us your glimpse of it?
I employ 40 staff members here with the district. I tell you, after our presentation that Mr. Lavender gave to us last week, my team was ecstatic. They felt appreciated. They felt like he was here to do what you guys hired him to do and to take care of everybody. Coming around the holidays, extra $2,500 for them. Like Mr. Wilkie said, their salaries aren't really high. Some of them are not even at the $50,000. So this $2,500 coming into the holidays for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and things like that. It's beyond words. They're just out there with a bunch of gratitude towards you guys and Mr. Lavender and Gina and everybody else that Mrs. Ogle that worked hard to get these in play. And I'm thankful for it too, because it makes a better employee for me as well. So, and we just keep doing what we do. But thank you guys for that. So.
Thank you. All right, no other questions? Mary, call for the vote.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
No.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Wright?
Yes. Thank you. Item D, the RISE proposal. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Wilkie, seconded by Mr. Hayes. Is there any discussion? None?
I do have a question.
Ms. Harrington?
This is going to be, from my understanding, going to the district office, right? Is it incorporating into PACE, or is that kind of being separate?
They will be separate programs, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anyone else? Nope. Mary, call for the question.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes. Thank you. Item 6E, fiscal year 24 District 301 plan. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Wilkie, seconded by Mrs. Harrington. Is there any discussion?
I did have one question related to the appeals process, the second and final level of appeals. It states in here, let's see, the first level, the individual, are we specifying that we have an individual in there at this point in time? Is that going to be, and just from a kind of a policy perspective, is it generally a title of a position, or is an actual person that we identify in there? It makes it easier when we just move forward, unless we have to keep adjusting or making amendments to it.
So a teacher who gets placed on a plan of improvement, if they don't agree with the evaluation their evaluator done, they can request an appeal And then I assign director of curriculum, director of student success to go in there and watch the teacher, look at the evaluation, and for them to determine whether or not they followed procedure and evaluation.
Okay, so the first level is your designee instead of a specific person.
Right.
That's the only clarification I was looking for. Thank you.
Any other questions? Mary, call for the roll.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes. Thank you. Item 6F, donations. They're moved to accept.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Been moved by Mrs. Harrington, seconded by Mr. Wilk.
Should we read it?
Is there any discussion? You want to read it?
Yes, I'd like to.
Okay.
Okay. Approval of the following donations: a 12-inch compound miter saw, portable, estimated value of $200, a 10-inch job site tail saw with stand and work support, estimated value $1,100, from Steve and Kathy Graham to the Vista Grande High School Construction Technologies, a $250 gift card from Harbor Freight to Casa Grande Union Automotive Technologies, a $1,250 travel voucher from Arizona FFA to Casa Grande Union FFA chapter, $500 to Casa Grande Union JR OTC, $750 to Vista Grande Key Club, and $500 to the Casa Grande Spirit Line from the Casa Grande Rotary Club. And I just wanted to add that we had our Oktoberfest for the Rotary. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? Anyway, it was an amazing event. We had a lot of community members there, a lot of support from all of you, and all of our students that showed up. That's why the Rotary is giving back to them for donating their time, their energy. They were such a pleasure to be around. All of them. They helped with the kids section. They helped with cleanup. They helped decorate. I mean, they all were really amazing. I was very proud of all of our students. So I just
Great.
wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to echo what Kelly was saying. Is that this is just the type of community that we live in. It's very generous and very supportive. And this is the second. Actually, we do it every time here, and it just makes my heart feel good that we live in a community that is always continually looking towards our school districts and our schools to help support them in any way they possibly can. So a huge thank you to all of these donators tonight, and all to those that have donated in the past and those that will donate in the future. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Mr. Hunt, Mr. Hayes? Okay. Mary, call for the question.
Okay, Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Wright?
Yes, thank you. Item 7, the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve A through I, or is there some one that you want pulled out?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Wilkie and seconded by Mrs. Harrington to approve as presented in total, correct?
Correct.
Okay, is there any discussion? None? Mary, call for the question.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkie?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington?
Yes.
And Mr. Wright?
Yes. That brings us to the conclusion of our meeting.
Can I just say a quick word before we go tonight, Mr.
You
Wright?
may.
It's past 7 o'clock now, so I can say it to all of you. Thank you for all of your support on the override, all the things that you've done. I haven't updated it 0-0 right now. But we should start seeing results
Oh, God.
in about 10 minutes. I emailed all of you the link. Next month, Ms. Miller will be here to do an overview of our CTE programs as well as CAVID programs.
Okay.
And so looking forward to bringing that to you.
Thank
And
you.
happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We are all so thankful for the work that you do to support our students, staff here in community.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.